So I've talked a lot here on the channel about my love for Hunter S. Thompson and his book Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail 72. It's one of my favorite books of all time. And yes, I also love Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Hunter Thompson made that a phrase and he made that phrase famous. But then Donald Trump and MAGA came along and they made Fear and Loathing a lifestyle. It is their entire identity. And corporate media loves nothing more than to spread fear and loathing throughout our country. And that's definitely the case in this next story. It was brought to my attention by a fellow Tennessean who was like, Brando, did you realize we were being overran by Venezuelan gangs here in Tennessee? And I was like, no, I had no idea. And so she sent me this story and this clip here on Fox News, and I watched it. And in my gut, I automatically said, here comes some fear and loathing. We're going to take a look at this clip, and then we're going to come back with some evidence. Take a look.
So, Tennessee law enforcement warning that the violent Venezuelan gang Trinidad de Agua is now operating in every major city in the state. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation Director David Roush has been warning local leaders about the growing threat and joins us now. Sir, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thank you, Lawrence.
So, what's the big issue as it relates to your law enforcement capabilities? Is the current federal detainers and all that preventing you from doing your job? Give us the scope.
No, I don't think it's any of that. I think what we have is, unfortunately, because of the porous border, this gang has exploited it, and they are actively working throughout our country. And we know, because of our investigations, they are actively working in Tennessee. They are in our four major cities, Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville, and Chattanooga, and they are running human trafficking operations right now. We first noticed them about 2 years ago during a trafficking operation in Middle Tennessee. And we thought, after we had captured a few of them, we knew some of them had fled. We thought that they would move out of Tennessee, but they have moved back. And we are aware now, after some meetings this past month, we're aware that they are moving into different operations. They go from human trafficking to organized retail crime theft. And then they move into the drug trade, taking on the cartels in a very violent, bloody battles that they've had. And they also have zero respect for policing. They have attacked law enforcement officers throughout our nation.
Now, I got to be honest with you. When I watched that clip, I said to myself, this dude is pulling this completely out of his ass. This is nothing more than fear and loathing at its finest. And I waited to see what would come next of this story. And then this is what came next. Local law enforcement began to come out and say, we have no evidence of that. So I'm going to go here to this article from WSMV Channel 4. This is local law enforcement responding to what the TBI had said there. So first up, we have the Metro Nashville Police Department. They say this police department is well aware of the gang and the criminal activity associated with its members. We have a heightened awareness for any such activity seen here. Then the Knoxville Police Department said this: we have received multiple inquiries concerning the reported presence of the gang, a violent Venezuelan gang in Knoxville. While KPD detectives are aware of the gang, they are not aware of any active members in Knoxville. And going down here, this is the Knox County Sheriff's Office. The Knox County Sheriff's Office has received numerous inquiries about the Venezuelan gang. At this time, there is no active investigations involving the group. Additionally, there are no individuals identified as gang members in our correction facilities. We will remain vigilant and keep you informed if there is a status change. And then Chattanooga Police Department had this to say: the Chattanooga Police Department has received multiple inquiries regarding the potential presence of the gang known as, and I cannot pronounce their name, within the city of Chattanooga. At this time, there has been no evidence to indicate the gang is actively operating in our city. So now notice that local law enforcement says there's no evidence to back up any of these claims, but notice who comes back in here with the fear and with the loathing. So here we go with Governor Bill Lee responding, and he said the border crisis is exactly why Americans voted for change. It's not political. It's about safety and security. Tennessee will support Donald Trump as he secures our border while delivering key resources for the TBI investigation to stop illegal criminals from operating in our state. And of course, Marsha Blackburn had to chime in to say the Venezuelan gang is running human trafficking operations and expanding criminal activities throughout Tennessee. These are violent individuals, should go first when Donald Trump begins mass deportation. So are you guys seeing the pattern here? Fox News puts out this piece, gets everyone's mama in my part of the world scared to death. Everyone's afraid to go anywhere. Then local law enforcement comes out and says, we have no evidence of that. We've not seen any active gang members in our towns. And then Governor Bill Lee and Marsha Blackburn comes back out, oh, but it's bad everywhere. You guys better run for the hills. That's basically what happened. And the thing with MAGA is once you put a story out there, all you got to do is just say it one time on Fox, one time on QAnon, or one time on Newsmax or any other sources. Say it one time. And then when local law enforcement comes out and says, hey, you know, we have no evidence of that, then they're automatically going to go to their conspiracy theory mind and go, oh, well, they're just trying to shut the TBI up. There really is stuff out there. You better be careful. You heard Bill Lee say it. You heard Marsha Blackburn say it. And so we're right back in the same mess and we'll stay there. But while Fox News loves doing stories like that about Venezuelan gangs, they have never made any mention of this next story, which is about a group of Christian nationalists who are trying to make Jackson County, Tennessee, their home. I'm going to play you a short clip of this video here, and this will point out exactly how they use fear and loathing to their advantage. Take a look.
News Channel 5 investigates special report reveals the Christian nationalists who want to turn a small Middle Tennessee community into their base of operations, hoping to attract others from around the country. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Hunter Hoagland. They are a group who says they want to go back to an America before the civil rights movement. Their desire is to deport legal immigrants even if they became U.S. citizens decades ago.
And they want to put women back to where they think they belong. Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams, has been investigating this effort for 3 months. And Phil, you found that longtime residents didn't even know this was happening.
That is precisely the case. This has very much been developing under the radar. In many ways, the views of some of these people are not so different from the white supremacists we've seen marching down Nashville streets in the past year, although they dress up their ideas with intellectual buzzwords and call it Christian. And they hope that about 90 minutes northeast of Nashville, tiny Jackson County will welcome their controversial ideas of what it means to be an American.
So when they were describing that group of Christian nationalists, who did you see in your head? To me, it was a mirror image of Donald Trump and of MAGA, and you'll never hear Fox News bring that up. We don't have Venezuelan gangs hijacking and taking over our state, but we do have a group of Christian nationalists trying to take over a county here in Tennessee, and you won't hear a peep out of Fox News. Why? Let's just cut right through the bullshit, because it's not brown people. They want everyone to stay in fear of brown people, and they want to throw their support behind Donald Trump and his agenda. So they'll let the Proud Boys march in the street all day. We saw that here in Tennessee. We saw so many hate groups march in the street, and the governor will say, oh, they have a right to do it. But when a story like this comes out, they'll sweep this under the rug. They won't say a word about it. And it's all because they're all for fear and they're all for loathing. It's all about fear and hatred, and it always has been. And it's a real shame, because there always is a kernel of truth to these stories, and that's what makes it so dangerous. Because, yes, we do have problems here in Tennessee. We have had problems with human trafficking. Yes, the police have said we're keeping an eye on it, but there's no evidence of this that you're spreading around. And it don't do them any good to say that, because MAGA's already been pre-programmed to believe that anything anyone says is just trying to silence them, censor them. I could so hear the Elon Musks of the world going, oh, it's censorship. They're just trying to silence them. No, it's trying to hold people accountable. If you're going to go on TV and get people worked up over a story and get everyone scared out of their mind, and then you have local law enforcement. I mean, I thought they were the back the blue crowd. If you've got local law enforcement saying, hey, we're not seeing evidence of that, then shouldn't you have respect for that? And shouldn't you? I mean, it's so ridiculous to me, the way that this all works. And that's what gets so tiresome every day doing these videos and bringing the receipts, is because you know when you do, MAGA's going to go, you didn't buy that here. Well, yeah, but it's got your name on it. It's got the location. It's got the date and the time. It's got the cashier. I bought it right here. Ain't that Bob? Hey, Bob, remember me? I bought that the other day. I don't know what you're talking about. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who won't let you bring the evidence because they've already been pre-programmed, like the cult that they are, to not believe anything they hear. And so it's just going to keep a lot of people living in fear and a lot of people hating people that they don't understand. And so when I heard that story, when I saw that clip of Fox News, my gut instinct was this guy's pulling this out of his ass. And then when local law enforcement said what they said, I wasn't shocked, and I wasn't shocked to hear what Bill Lee and Marsha Blackburn's response was, because that is the vicious cycle that we live in here in Tennessee. But I thank you guys so much for tuning in every day here on the channel. I hope everyone has a great day, and stay safe out there wherever you're at, because there are problems in this world and we do have to be careful, but we don't have to sit and live in constant fear with all this that they love to stoke up just to get people riled up against the wrong people. And I think that's really what it's all about. They didn't say a word about the Christian nationalists. Why? Because they support that. And it's sad. But I appreciate you guys so much for your support. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 500,000 subscribers, and I know we can get there soon. I wonder if we could get there before the inauguration. I would love to accomplish that before Trump is back in power. But we'll see. We'll see if it can happen. And I thank you guys so much for your support, and you guys have a good one.